Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KBZ. You are here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. And I'm finally going to review last campaign's campaign ship, the Vampire II. I don't have a high opinion of the Vampire II. I don't. I think this is a case of I don't gel very well with the ship. But that being said, right at the beginning, I'm going to set this out as a benchmark. You can see we're on Shatter, Capture the Base Match, top tier. If you said to me, what ship in the game does the Vampire II remind you of? I would say it reminds me of the Cossack. And not Cossack 38, but the even crappier Cossack at tier 6. It's like a tier 6 Cossack up tiered to legendary tier. It's got a short-range sonar. It's got not great AA. It's got good guns and a good reload. That's it. One quad launcher with a lengthy reload time. And the torpedoes are slower than molasses. Just about anybody can dodge your torpedoes unless they're point blank. Or they're asleep at the wheel. All right, so we're moving out here in the Vampire II. Let's go over here to the history section. HMAS Vampire was the third of three Australian-built Daring-class destroyers serving the Royal Australian Navy, constructed at Cockatoo Island Dockyard between 1952 and 1959. Commissioned one day after completion. Cockatoo. Oh, boy. All right, there is the enemy Kleber. We are going to light him up with some armor piercing and do a little damage. And quite frankly, he does pretty much the same kind of damage to me. Now, knowing he's just going to try to catch me in some very fast, high damage torpedoes, I am leaving. As you can see, I hit my speed boost. We took some incoming fire from far away. He's about to come around the island. Defensively, I'm going to throw up my smoke screen. And I think I really, really needed to do that. Because you're going to see in a minute, he is still moving in. And I'm trying to see if I can catch a glimpse out here. We're going to hit our sonar again. I'm worried about a torpedo net from that ship. I want to say, I think the Vampire has 360-degree turrets. So that's a strong point. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're about to see my best match ever in the Vampire II. And when we talk about my average stats, you're gonna see why I don't have a high opinion. All right, there is Kleber. He stupidly is not trying to get away or whatever. Instead, he's moving towards me. Now, we totally missed that time. But this is just not going to work for him, because instead of getting on target, he's maneuvering back and forth, and by this time, my guns are just chewing him up, and I am shooting armor piercing. There is first blood kill number 1. His torps are in the water. We've got our sonar out, and we're just going to lazily turn. This is one of the slowest destroyers in the game. 36 knots only. We're just going to turn and lazily move out of the way and move back towards kind of the more forward part of the map. All right, back to daring history. Regularly deployed to Southeast Asia. Hopefully nobody needed the help of the ship's infirmary to get over anything from the ladies of the night over there. Assigned to escort the royal yacht HMY Britannia during Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip's visit to Australia. Reclassified in 1980 to a training ship. Decommissioned in 1986 and became a museum ship. All right, well, that's all pretty interesting. All right, we're moving back up the board. We're trying to get an eye on that other destroyer, which is a Shima. We're going to go to wiki.wargaming.net. Now, keep in mind, some of this may not carry over to PC, or from PC, pardon me. Average shell weight for HE 24.95 kilos, armor piercing 25 kilos, HE and AP shell velocity 746 meters per second, And the dispersion, oh, unable to match configuration for query artillery semicolon PUSD 510 underscore vampire underscore 2 colon stock slash artillery dispersion dot M. So there you go. I knew you were dying to know that information specifically. All right, there's the Montana. We are going to send our torps towards the Montana and scrape the island. Keep in mind, we're still looking for another destroyer. And we don't have a lot of damage on board. Again, these torps are exceedingly slow. Just 62 knots. There is the Shima, so that is the target out there for real. I just need to get the Shima in gun range. But again, the minuses on the ship. The torpedoes are ghastly slow. The ship is slow. It doesn't feel maneuverable. But we get 3 torp strikes on Montana, and that is kill number 2. All right, up to 46k damage. Quick look at the scoreboard. We're all tied, or actually we're up. We're down. We're down by 1 ship. But as soon as I see Shimakaze, we won't be down by 1 ship. Then we'll be tied. So I'm moving towards Shima. Actually switched to HE. You can see not a lot of other ships are really near us. A little bit, and that's fine as long as there aren't any ships near the Shimakaze when it comes up. Quick look at the Tulsa there. There's someone, probably a cruiser. Pardon me. Here is the Shimakaze. Front turrets only. First hit, second hit, third hit, fourth hit. We're keeping an eye on torps. We damage con, 5th hit. And all that is all the room I need to slide right on through. All right, now we turn all 3 guns on target, which actually can be done from a pretty good angle. We are lighting Shima up. We set him on fire. And that's all she wrote. Kill number 3. So at this point, I was thinking about a Kraken, but then I remembered I was in this ship, which is exceedingly average in just about every way. And, you know, don't get fooled into thinking, oh, I have a really quick reload. Yes, you also have only 6 gun barrels. So it's entirely possible you get out DPM by other gunboats at this tier. But on the plus side, your concealment is 5.2. Your torps hit for about 20k damage if they hit. I think the AA is not great. And yes, the speed of this destroyer is abysmal. But at least you get a very long-running speed boost. I think if I wasn't maneuvering, you could see you get up to about 38 or 39 knots with the speed boost. So if you're somebody who loves English ships or very middle-of-the-road, not fast destroyers, you'll love this thing. Like I said, struggled to get synergy with the Vampire. Really struggled. You'll see that when we look at the stats. All right, I'm not too worried about Republic, but I am going to launch my torps into the gap here, hoping to hit the destroyer or the cruiser over there, which I think is Dalian. By the way, I want to let everybody know, if you don't peruse Reddit, allegedly, MetaJerk was suspended on Discord for referring to Dalian and saying a lot of the ships lately, or all the ships lately, have been copy pasta ships. And so somebody got salty and suspended him for that. So deeply ironic in a game about warships that have to do with freedom, really. A guy can just say his opinion and they silence him on Discord. Really lame. Which is why I would never be a community contributor, ever. Not that they would have me. I'm in no danger of getting 1,000 subs or whatever the upgraded requirements are. So, yeah, no. Anyway, we did catch Dalian with a torpedo, but he is still alive. And then I noticed, hey, over here, there's a Napoli, and he's coming right for me, and I don't like that, and I don't like Dalian, who's kind of coming towards me. I tried to pinch him right there to make it a Kraken fail. That didn't work. Now we've got to turn and hit the smoke. because otherwise Napoli's going to have my lunch. And we are going to make our way back to the base, which is going to take a very long time. So, yeah, I don't know what to say about the current state of the game. I did buy a couple of Transformers commanders. They weren't the commanders I wanted. Like a Starscream, I think is a German aircraft carrier commander. And the other one is the one I'll never use, so I can't remember that one either. But it was very disappointing. And I got to say, with the amount of duplicate ships and winter ships and black ships in the game, you know, there may come a day where on Warship Wednesday, I'm just like, F it, guys, I'm out. And just go fully to Let's Plays of stuff or stuff like that. I'm not totally committing to that yet, but I'm just saying if it gets much worse, even though I've spent a lot of money on this game, my own money, buying the ships that you see videos of, it gets harder and harder sometimes to make these videos, especially if the gameplay is terrible for my teammates. Now, this one I'm not going to criticize too badly. It was all right. It was enough to show you this video, you know. And I hate to say it, the other matches that I provide on average to my teammates in the Vampire 2 have been pretty terrible. Again, so you'll see that. But here, where you want to have speed to be able to close to the cap, this ship just doesn't have that speed. So that doesn't work for my playstyle very well, at least in destroyers. And then we'll get to the other part, which is where your torpedoes don't have any speed. So that doesn't work well for my playstyle either. So I guess we made it. We got away from that other cruiser, but now we're going to go in here to try to engage the battleship, and you'll just see just how slow and pondering these torpedoes are. The ship isn't fast. It doesn't lend itself to hit and run torp runs. You know, the concealment's good, but not great. The AA is average. There's a lot of average going on here, and while that may work at tier 5 for the gearing, does not work for me here at the legendary tier. There's too much other stuff. And, you know, the worst part is that sonar is just 4.4 km. Not great. All right, here's Republique. You can see he's kind of moving back and forth. The bow of the ship is to the right. So I'm going to aim towards the bow, thinking if he's going to start accelerating, he's going to head that way first instead of backing up. Gauging his movement here, he looks like he's going to continue to back up. I thought about going into the cap, but then I'm like, he's going to spot me if I do that. But then I'm like, he's going to spot me anyway, because I'm blundering into detection. And now he's going forward, so it doesn't matter what I do. So we set him on fire. I mean, that's great. And am I going to use my smoke screen? I am going to use my smoke screen, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think he's going to light me up pretty soon. We do get one. Do we get one? No, we don't get any torpedo strikes. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, they're so slow, a Republic was able to dodge all of them. Sorry, my allergies are kicking in. I got a sore throat. I'm coughing a little bit. Throat's dry. All stuffed up. We're going to watch my fire burn down on Republique. The other destroyer out there, which I think is a Khabarovsk, is doing his best. But eventually he's going to get caught with a salvo like I did by Republique. But we are going to get our damage up over 95k. All right, I lied. 94k. All right, here we are on the defeat screen. First blood medal, 94,146 total damage. 68 main battery hits, 4 torpedo strikes, 1 assisted kill, 3 kills, 3 fires, and 1 cap defended flag. We ended up with 372,099 silver, 2,600 ship XP, 2,900 commander XP in the loss. Here we are at the top of the board, 1,696 base XP, 1 medal, 3 big kills, leading the way for our team. Not a lot of assistance below me there. you know, but I'm not. The bottom line is this destroyer is not very good, and I just had a Herculean effort in this thing for me. All right, we're going to go into the port and take a look at the ship. In terms of the upgrades, aiming system mod 1, steering gears mod 2, concealment system mod 1, and the very wasted legendary main battery mod 3. Ugh. Loadout, you've got HE, AP, and torpedoes. Unlimited damage control parties, 3 charges of a smoke generator, 2 charges of an engine boost, and 2 charges of a short-range sonar. Running the common battle booster for speed, standard permanent camouflage, and the ugly-looking Vampire 2 flag. Take a look at the specs. 20,590 hit points with our build. Got 3 twin 113 millimeter turrets, 11.1 kilometer firing range, 2.3 second reload, 7.9 second turn time. HE shells 1,700 max damage with an 8% fire chance. AP shells 2,100 max damage. 1 quintuple, torpedo launcher. Reloads every 96 seconds. Max damage 20,085. Torpedoes have a 12 kilometer range at just 62 knots. The detectability is 1,300 meters. AA defense, your main battery is dual purpose. It is your longest reaching AA out to 5K and your most deadly AA at 53 damage per second. But all of that is not very impressive. Maneuverability 36 knots with the speed boost flag, 680 meter turning circle, 3.8 second rudder shift time. Concealment 5.2 on the surface, 2.9 from the air, 2.4 when firing from smoke. Take a look at the stats. We have played 35 matches. I have ground 35 matches in this thing. We are 1 match below 500. Main battery accuracy 54%. Torpedo accuracy just 7%. Of our 19 kills, 14 were with the main battery. Average damage results, half of a kill and less than 25k damage per match. Terrifyingly bad. Our last game was the best game with the exception of Max XP, which was another forgettable game, which is why you didn't see it. So I just don't work well with this ship, just like I don't work well with the original Cossack. That's why I call this thing Cossack 2.0. All right. Reloader, yes. Sequential, yes. Sticky shot, nah. I just don't synergize with this thing at all. Here's your commander, Hector Waller. Base trait, hard over heck. Increase the incoming fire dispersion. Decreases the rudder shift time. We got Bei and Deng Shichang as our inspirations. In row 1, Observant Rage. In row 2, Look at Me Now. In row 3, Twist and Track. In row 4, the unique skill Scrap Iron Flotilla increases the traverse speed and decreases the incoming damage per hit point loss percentage. Quasi-unique legendary skills Steadfast Soldier increases the hit points, reduces the engine incapacitation and steering gear impairment chance. The special effect gives you a quicker repair and auto repair when you have less than 30% hit points. And it's active when an enemy ship is close to you, which is pretty cool. Good for a gunboat, but all in all, I don't find this destroyer very compelling for gameplay purposes. Anyway, that's the video. I would love to hear your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and I will see you on the next video.